I'm from Huntsville, Alabama. I don't know if you guys know about Huntsville, Alabama. It's one of the coolest cities ever. When September 11th happened, I was sitting in my classroom. I was one of 2 Muslims in my school, and then she left. I was like, what? Where are you going? It's weird. So I go home that day. I'm thinking, like, I don't know what my parents are going to do, but surprisingly, both of them are home. I'm like, oh, it's not good. It's not good. So I see my dad, I get to the house, I see my dad at the screen door, and he's just like, staring at me, and he kind of sort of slinks down, slumps over, and I'm like, oh no, that's not good. And I see my mom kind of peering behind him, like, you know, like, how are things? In her face. So I get to the door and they open the door for me. My dad opened the door for me. Kind of like a puppy. He's like, hey, now I come. You know, you don't have to go to school anymore. He's like, and you don't have to wear hijab anymore, you know. Allah, it's fine. Yani, Allah forgives. Allah Rahim, you know, Rahman. And I'm like, I'm really sort of bothered by the whole thing because it was very weird to see my parents in such a vulnerable state. And I knew what they were thinking, which is like, we live in Huntsville, Alabama. We have a hijabi girl, and she's the only girl at that school of 3,000 people. So I remember thinking, like, I have to be confident, right? I have to show my dad, I have to infuse him with confidence. I have to show him that I'm strong, that I'm fine, that I'm okay. So I'm like, no way. I am not taking off my hijab, number one. I'm gonna let the clowns on TV speak for me. I'm gonna speak for myself. I am fine. I am good. So my dad, like, he looks like a plant that just got some water, so he's like, well, I'm scared, you know, but, you're my daughter, that's the way it is. And my mom's like, yes, you're the one. He's like, and you know what? I don't think just going to school is okay. I think you need to be a role model. Okay, you're number one. I want you to be, like president of your class. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah. Holy crap! Like he's overreaching at this point. He's overconfident. I've messed up. More mission, and so I'm like, I don't know if that's the best idea, but it's a dream. It's a dream to aspire to. And he's like, yes, you can do it. I know you will. I know you will do it. You will go to school and you will do it. You will announce your presidency and you will do it. So I'm like, okay, how did that happen in the span of like 2 minutes? Things got real, very quick. So I consulted my brother who, he's like 6'4", 250 pounds, kind of looks like a security guard. A lot smarter than he looks. No offense to security guards, very smart, I'm sure. But he's like this really wicked smart guy, but he's quiet. So he sits down with me. He's like, "What just happened, man? Talk to me. Lay it on me." I'm like, "Bubba thinks I'm running for president of my class. I can't break his heart. I gotta make it happen. I gotta make it happen for him." So he's like, "Okay, all right. So what do you do best?" I'm like, "Yeah, I rap." And he's like, "I know. You're so good at it." So me and my brother, we used to like write songs to like words to songs, to modern day songs. We would perform it with each other, back and forth to each other. We're really lame. There was a lot of clapping and off of each other with like echo chamber. So my brother's like, "You're totally gonna do that in front of everybody at school. It's gonna be awesome. I'll help you write it and stuff." So I was like, yeah, it's gonna be great. So I get to school the week of when the election was supposed to happen, and I thought I have to really strategize a plan. It was a 3-pronged plan. It's a very serious high schooler. It's a 3-pronged plan. 1, mad beats. Okay? Killer beats. Number 2, sick rhymes. Okay, with disses. Some sort of dissing happening. And 3, I have to make sure to get the popular kids on board. So I said, my number 1 destination are the cheerleaders. All 12 of them ruled the school. So I went to them and I said, "Hey, what's up? Melanie, Stephanie, Jennifer. How are you? I'm ready for president." They're like, yeah, we heard. And I'm like, I'm running against Tyler. And they're like, yeah, we heard. Yeah, Tyler, yeah. Because, Tyler is was about 6'1", strapping gentleman, played football, basketball, and track. He's a triple threat. He had eyes that were really close to each other. He was always like, his mouth was really small, his eyes were super close. He was very tall, kind of imposing. I think he was unattractive, my personal opinion. But everyone was scared of this guy, Tyler Green. And he was a little mean, you know, so that helped inspire fear. Because if you crossed him, he made sure to wipe the floor with you. So I was like, yeah, I know. So I know you guys cheer for Tyler. Like, yeah, we do. We cheer for him. Mm-hmm. You do that. And I was like, okay, well, you know, it'd be really awesome. I know you guys just go to school. I had tricked them into laughing many times before. I said, hey, it would be really cool if you guys all wore scarves to school, like hijabs to school the day before my election speech. And they're like, wait a second, are you saying we're gonna put like scarves on, like the one on your head, like on our head? I said, yeah, but with safety and campaign slogans. Yeah, that's what I want you to do. They're like, yeah, oh my god, we're totally gonna do it. That's so weird. We love it. I was like, okay, perfect, yes. So I did. I got all 12 of them wore hijab to school that day, and they had things like slogans, safety pins in the back of their head, like, can't scarf this, scarf go to the rescue. Scarf it down. So they all came, and they all looked like a little hijab posse that walked in, and they were like, and they had like their skirts on. I was like, yeah, you can't wear, so you can't wear your sweats underneath. So they, okay, sure. So they all had sweatpants, and they had their skirts, and some of them had their cutoff shirts. Like, no, sweatshirt too. So they all wore their sweatshirts. It was hilarious. I have all these awesome pictures with them, and they were just really good sports. And so I was thinking, as I was walking in, I said, okay, I feel a lot more comfortable. There's more Muslims here. Like, it's totally fine. It's totally self-serving. It's totally self-serving, so I could psych myself out in the best way. So anyhow, the next day, I had written this piece. I made my mixtape. Was really excited. I said, you know, I got my toboggan. I had like another safety pin piece of paper, which is what I like to do. Is that, you know, NC Yasmin or NC Yasmin. That's what they made me, NC Yasmin. I don't know why. It's easier too. And tinfoil. I had like tinfoil chains. And I had like yo on it like this, like musical instruments. So anyways, I decided to bring a really big boombox with me for effect, as well as that was the only radio I had. It was this huge boombox that I like carried on my shoulder. I was like, yeah, like we're on DMC. What? No problem. So anyways, I get to school, and Tyler Green is sitting next to me on stage, and so was our principal. So Principal Drake, he was an interesting character. I love him so much. Now I love him. Then I was mostly like, what is this guy doing? Because he would get on the intercom, he would talk really super slow, and we were the Grissom Tigers, that was our high school, so he'd be like, hey, Tigers, what up? You know, and we're like, no, not what up, we don't like you, you're lame. And he would always say the wrong things on the intercom, so I said, I gotta diss him in my rap. I don't know how it's gonna go over, you know, but I'm gonna diss him because everybody can so identify with this guy every morning, blaring over the intercom. And I have to diss Tyler Green, right? I gotta diss this guy. I gotta dish it, right? He dishing it out. He gotta go take some, right? He's gonna have to taste his own medicine. And I thought green, you know, that's the color of vomit. So I'm going to include that. I'm going to incorporate that in myself. So anyways, he sees me with the boombox and he's like, so, are you gonna sing? Is that what you're doing? Are you singing? And I was like, no. Do I look like a singer? He's like, no, you don't. You do not look like you can sing. I was like, yeah, because I'm a rapper. I was like, rappers are much scarier. That's what I told him. And he was like, I'm not scared of you. I did a double take, and I knew I got to him. So I go up there and I put on my track. It was a mixtape from the kid I used to tutor for math. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this for you, girl. What? But it was like, what's up, Mark? So it was an auditorium of about 600 students. That was my class. It was like 600 students who were rising seniors. And I went to a predominantly white, Caucasian, Anglo-Saxon, whatever you want to call them, folks. So most of them were of that background, of that ethnicity, and there were about 3 to 4 African American students, which were my homies, faux show. I was looking at them, I was like, and they were like, yeah, we got you. I was looking at them the whole time for some kind of reassurance. I was so scared. I was scared out of my mind. I was shaking, I was clammy, I was nervous, I was about to throw up about 3 or 4 times, but I could not show that to Tyler Green. Oh no! If he smelled weakness, he attacked. And so I was like, no, I'm gonna be really freaking strong, okay? I'm gonna do this. So I go up there and it's awesome, right? And in the room. So anyhow, by the end of it, so the African American students got up. They were like, yes! Yes! That's what I'm talking about! And I was like, yeah, it's awesome. And then the other white students were like, yeah. They also too, so I ended up getting a standing ovation. I was like, what? That's weird. But I did make fun of Tyler in the song, so he sort of fell apart. I didn't realize that a man could fall so hard so quickly, but we're teenagers, right? So he started, I sat down next to him after I guess it killed, did well. I sat down next to him and he goes, so how did you plan that? How long did it take to write? And he was hyperventilating. I was like, Tyler, are you okay? He started crying. Yeah. So he gets up there and he goes, I don't know why you should vote for me. Yeah. So that didn't feel good. That didn't feel good. But afterwards he was like, I'm gonna vote for you just so you know. I was like, thank you, Tyler, that means so much to me. I thought you had a really good speech, or you probably just didn't give it. I don't know why you didn't give it. I think you probably wrote a really good one, and really smart. So I ended up having to have a locker right next to Tyler Green for the rest of senior year. Coincidence? I don't think so, right? Right next to each other, constant reminder, hey, I'm the girl that I guess embarrassed you. And you're way more popular than I am, and you so should have won, but you didn't. And I'm here, just getting my math books. But anyways, we ended up having a less awkward relationship as time progressed. But it was awkward and sad for a very long time, and very embarrassing for him. Very, very embarrassing for him. I don't know if you guys know about jocks, at school or that prototype, but when they do get embarrassed, it is devastating. It devastates a big piece of who they are. So he just completely changed after that. He was a lot nicer, which was good. That was a win. It was a lot nicer of a guy. But anyways, people love the little speech rap, whatever you want to call it, and so they started asking me to perform it for the different grades. So all the Latin kids were like, please, you gotta do it. No, you gotta do it. We heard about it, you gotta do it right here. I'm like, you guys are freshmen. They're like, yeah, we need to hear it. So I started doing it in different pods, the English pod, the languages, math, things like that, social studies. And everybody was really, really awesome, including my principal, who I totally made fun of, and I dissed him for saying things wrong, for being unintelligible, things like that. And he was like, you got me. You got me. And I was like, oh, thanks. I didn't mean to get you. You're so much bigger than I am. So anyhow, I ended up seeing them at the 10-year reunion. Both Tyler and Principal Drake, both of them. And so the principal saw me and gave me the biggest hug. It was I didn't expect it. And he was like, this here, y'all, this is our #1 president right here. Okay, she is a doozy. Okay, you're looking good. You're looking real good. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Thanks. That's so weird. I gotta go immediately. And he was like, you remember when you did that speech? You remember that? I do. I remember it. It was real fun. Yeah, I gotta go. And I saw Tyler, and Tyler ended up going to Duke. He ended up going to medical school. He's a physician now. Lost all his hair, but that's okay. Still the same, beady, close beady eyes. But he's so nice. He was so nice to me, and he's in a good place. in his life. So that's good. But I think that if I would have lost, the election, it would have been a really tough thing for my parents to probably handle. As first and foremost, I didn't want to show them that, like, you know, I had any problem at school. I wanted to be like, I'm okay. You made the right decision to move to Alabama. That was a really big thing for me. But I think it would have been a really big hit for Islam because, you know, when I did my actual speech for graduation, there were about 10,000 people in the room. You know, and I was giving this speech for our class, and I made sure to mention that picking me, choosing me, electing me, said more about them than it said about me. And it said more about the way that they had raised their children. And they just loved that. You know, the parents were talking about me and like coming up to me in the middle of all kinds of grocery stores and all that for really months afterwards. Do you remember when you were speaking at that? You did a real good job. Thank you. And some were like, I didn't know nuns were so up and about. I said, oh, I'm not. Okay, thank you. But, you know, I think it was very much an election about Islam, you know, like, is Islam going to win or is Islam going to lose? And it's not true, obviously, but I think as a Muslim who lived in the South, every interaction that you have, every single one matters. Every single one could be the only interaction that person has with a Muslim. And so it's a ton of responsibility all the time. I was a very serious high schooler, like I said. So I carried this weight with me all the time. But alhamdulillah, it went well. It was embarrassing for a while. It was embarrassing to actually perform it and continuously perform it. And it was really embarrassing to, I think, use the same kind of, not niceness with Tyler because he actually turned out to be a nice guy. So that kind of made me feel like, am I any better than Tyler? You know, if I'm doing the same thing that he does to other people, am I any better than him? Mr. Green, you know, he's won, in my opinion, because he's a nice guy. And I think that I learned to be nicer too.
I am the dean you love. Please come back to me. I am the dean you know. I am the dean you need. I am the dean you love. Please come back to me.